So 3-0 it finishes to France, favourites going into Euro 2020 after losing out on the final last time around in 2016 on home turf. But lots to discuss, and fortunately we have many people to discuss this team with us. Stevie, Jules and Jan here with us. Let's start with you then, Jules. What's going on with Benzema? Is he okay?
Yeah, I'm being told it's a dead leg. He got that knock on that corner that we've just seen. And I think they didn't want to take any risk. It was really by precaution. He didn't even have to go back to the dressing room. He watched the end of the first half and then the second half in the stands with the other subs. So I don't know how long it will take for him to don't feel it anymore, or if he can play with just a little bit of pain without having a risk that he gets worse or anything like this. But Deschamps and the staff, and especially the medical staff, didn't seem that worried about the injury that he picked up in that first half.
Stevie, obviously we know how dangerous they are. What did you make of them in this performance?
Do you know what? I actually really enjoyed watching it. You know, normally friendlies are not particularly great, but because how good the French are and because the tournament's coming up and what for them in a week's time they play, then you could see everybody had a little skip in the step. You know, some nice little interchanges with Griezmann and Benzema and Pogba and Mbappe. I mean, I just enjoyed watching it, and they probably should have been they probably should have been 3 up at half time, in my opinion. I mean, certainly possession wise they were completely dominant, and again, no question, they're favourites. Great to watch, and a great performance, I thought.
Jules, as a Frenchman, were you happy with what you saw?
Yeah, I was happy. I think Stevie summed it up well. I am a bit worried at times by the lack of depth, because they play with a diamond in midfield and Griezmann as a 10 behind Benzema and Mbappe when they have the ball. They move to a 4-3-3 when they don't have the ball, which is far more solid and more balanced to defend and to try to get the ball back. But the fullbacks will have to do a lot of work and be there very present wide to use that width, sorry, the lack of width, not of depth, the lack of width in that first half. At times it was very central, and those interchanges that Stevie was talking about are great sometimes, but it's easier to defend than if you use all the width of the pitch. So the fullbacks will have to do that, because there's no wingers in that team, of course. But I thought there was a lot of really good things. They should have scored more. It's very good for Giroud to score 2, even if he probably won't start against Germany in a week's time. And Mbappe looked a little bit frustrated when he came off with 10 minutes to go or something, because he didn't score again. But it's another goal for Griezmann. Defensively, it's the 4th game in a row without conceding. So they're solid, which they've always been. But then you've got that bit of flair and a bit of magic with Pogba and N'Golo Kante coming back in the team as well, who I thought did well until the hour mark. And Tolisso, I thought, going for strength to strength too in midfield.
Yeah, so all positive signs for France. This is the group of death that they are in. Favourites, of course, but Hungary, Portugal and Germany, and the first game for them is against Germany. It's in Munich. It's on Tuesday. There are a fear for some, Jan, that Germany won't even make it out of this group. What do you think of those fears?
Well, they could maybe get out of one of the best 4 third. But having said that, Germany knows that this is the last chance also for Joachim Löw to do well there. But I'm very impressed by France, not only the individual players they have there, but also the winning culture there is with Deschamps as the national coach is unbelievable. And I think that lacks a bit of in Germany, although they had a great result of scoring goals, getting self-confidence last night. But still, this is going to be a very difficult group for Germany. I think it's very important for them to start well against France. They could be hammered by France, as France is playing now with these players going forward. And we haven't even started talking about Giroud, who comes on again and scores 2 goals. He's 5 away from Thierry Henry's 51 all-time greatest goal scorer of France. I mean, what a humble, great, grisly kind of guy he is, Giroud, for them. So I think that Germany, with their defense, they will fear this France team. I think they are frightened about this. They will like to tend and say they have that all under control. I think they are scared of France coming 15th of June.
Stevie, what are you expecting from this game, and should Germany be careful?
Absolutely, I'm with Jan 100%. I don't see, you know, we sort of complained about France today because they couldn't break Bulgaria down, but the truth is, when you've got 10 men behind the ball, it is hard to break down. the Germans aren't going to do that. I mean, I don't think their pride would allow them to stick 10 men behind the ball and just try and be like a Mourinho type side and do France on the break. And that means that there'll be more space for that front three if Benzema's fit to create havoc. So yeah, I'm worried for the Germans. I mean, defensively, look, the Germans have got ability going forward. I don't think anybody would argue that. But defensively, I mean, the players they're relying on, the likes of Hummels, I mean, Dortmund were awful at the back, and he was right in the middle of it all the time. He's the leader of the defence at Dortmund, and you know he's starting. I mean, if Chan starts beside him, which Jogi Löw has done before, my goodness. So I just don't see how the Germans could cope with France defensively. I'm with Jan. I think this could be a one-sided game.
Jules, are you confident that your France can get off to a good start in this game?
Yeah, and they have to be, like we've been saying, they're so good, they're on good form. Apart from the little worry about Benzema, everybody is pretty much fully fit. Rabiot has a little niggle as well, but he will be ready in a week time. They're playing well, they're very solid. Benzema's integration after 5.5 years away from the national team has been perfect. And then you even have, in a way, Kylian Mbappe not really firing in the way it could be or should be. So it's all the lights are green for us, and we go into this game, even if it's away in Germany, with a lot of confidence, knowing that we can win that game like we did in 2016, for example, in the semi-final of that Euros previously when we played them in Marseille.
What a game to look forward to coming up next week. But Euro 2020 gets underway on Friday. Turkey, Italy kicks things off.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.